So, with that being said, I wanted to bring you guys in with some conversations that I've had with some of these guys. One of the other Olympic athletes who was a part of that 2004 Olympic team, who also medaled, was my good friend Andre Darrell. And this is one of the things that he said as we talked on the show one day. And we all know that when he lost in the silver medal round, and he was so devastated. He just was talking about how disappointed he was in himself because he wanted to get the gold. But you don't realize how few people in history will ever have that opportunity to even fight for a medal. So this is what he said after he realized, when he was taking that stroll down Victory Row, it all hit him. So check this out and let me know what you think in the comment boxes. And while you're watching, check in and let me know exactly where is it that you're watching from today. I'm here in South Florida, and this is my man, Andre Darrell. Special shouts out to the Darrell family.
All the way up until it came to the part where I had to walk to go and receive my medal, right? A lot of joy, man, flooded me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's one thing to make it to such an event, right? To be a part of an elite amount of people, the best in the world, the best from every country, the top dog of every country is seated in one tournament to prove it all, right? And that sense of being robbed, I didn't care no more. That sense of hurt that I felt as I was walking, I didn't feel it anymore. You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
felt pride for my country because you got the opportunity to see my flag being raised.
And that is the reality. A lot of you guys get caught up in wins and losses, but he said the realization of that hit. And you think about your child going to the Olympics and not only getting the green light to go to the Olympics, but to be one of the few people in history that will ever hold a medal with their name on it. Who would have thunk? And the totality of it lands on anybody. And what do? You know, how do you like bragging on family members, right? Everybody likes to have a dad that's cool, or a mom that's done something really unique, or an uncle. I used to brag about my uncle. He was a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? He was so smart. He had a PhD, very well spoken, dressed in suits every day. My other uncle, I called him Uncle Paul. He was Uncle Paul. There was this character that came on in the 70s named Uncle Paul. So some of you guys who know who that is, I know your age. You're Generation X. But the reality is everyone likes to brag on someone, right? So those were the guys that I bragged upon, and other people. But with that being said, there's a sense of pride to let people know that that's my DNA. You know what I mean? Like, I got some of that in me. I'm a little smart. I'm a little sharp. I can dress the part, but that's all in what we call our whole card. You know what I'm saying? That's your secret little suitcase. But when you realize that moment you're about to go out there and grab an accolade that no one else that's watching you is going to have the privilege to do. There are 8 billion people on the planet. There will be less than 100 people that leave that event with a medal. Out of 8 billion people, only upwards of 100 people will have medals, somewhere in that neighborhood. Don't quote me, but you get the idea. That's astonishing, to be amongst the best of 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 the best in the world. You can't argue it. It doesn't matter if a guy gets cheated or if a guy comes up short. Just to be in a tournament of champions, mindset, overcome, fortitude, intangibles, all of those things. That's what it takes to get up there. And, Coach Lopez, who actually was in the school of boxing, made it to be an Olympic coach, was the first person through our school that was able to land and become an Olympic coach. And I know there'll be another one soon. As I spoke to one of my other coaches today, I know that they're going to be in 2028 as an Olympic boxing coach. And so that's kind of what we like to do. We like to take the knowledge that we've had and experience. I got the chance to work with another world champion who actually was a gold medal Olympian, and Ray Mercer, under the tutelage of my mentor and head coach. And it was a privilege because you get to know how they breathe. You get to know how they think. This is a man who's been in the ring against Tommy Morrison, Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, fight of the year multiple times. You get to understand, how does this guy put on gloves? What is his biggest concern in the boxing gym? The ring. When he gets inside of the ring, how does he move? What's important to him? Is it most important to him to learn new things or to smash your sparring partner? And it was always something that I was able to obtain from people like that, that other people in the world, very few people will ever get to see a world champion train or actually coach him while he's training, or have advice for him, a tip for the world champion, lunch with the world champion, taking pictures and hanging out, having regular conversations, saying, is this a guy that I would like to hang with? Am I this level of guy? That's a very powerful tool to obtain and to have access to. So as we think about the guys who were world champion and gold medal Olympians, we talked back with Andre Ward, and it's funny because Terrence Crawford is fighting this weekend. So I got a couple of clips from Terrence Crawford that he's teasing Andre Ward. So it's a real thing, man. This game of boxing is unique, and Dana White was on the record saying that boxing is like a going out of business sale. You know, is everybody's trying to cash in, but there's no onus on building a system of business. You know, having real proper, commissions in place to oversee everything, and then that's a real thing. And I think when people say, Michael Jackson was on a record and he said, you got to start with the man in the mirror. If I feel like there's something that could be done about boxing, I knew that there wasn't enough information out there about boxing when I was coming up, and because I had to search and scratch and claw, and some of you are probably in that boat right now. You're looking for lessons that actually could be sustainable. You're looking for a lesson that tomorrow you'll also have something to do, right? But you're not sure what that is because there's this big black space, and you find yourself searching for answers, but the answers that you're searching for, you can never get the full complete answer. So I had to fill that void, and now here we go again. There's something that I see as a whole in boxing, and it's really putting something in place in boxing. This will take a lot of work, but it's something that can be done. And I got to start with the man in the mirror. I'm capable. I have a high enough IQ. I have a big enough audience of people who will support. If I have to get petitions out to sign, I'm hopefully that you guys contribute and sign the petition. If I pull something out to help make boxing work more conducively, so people can actually benefit and not be so worried and not have so much anxiety about the sport. And we have the teaching tools in place. That's all about typing the word school. That's in place. But for the actual being in the game and learning how this thing can help you become a grown man or a grown woman inside of the sport and not have to worry about going outside of the sport too much,